What's up, everybody? I just got back from the Atlas Alliance Summit in Nashville, Tennessee, put on by my brothers, Mike Sherrard and Louis Galt. I am going to give you my 10 takeaways today. I will tell you there's many more, but this event was next level. And if there is an Atlas Alliance Summit in 2025, I would be happy to see you there. But I wanted to bring this to my audience, as I know not everyone can attend, not everyone could travel. My top 10 takeaways will absolutely move you. At the end, I got something exactly for you, special for you, that I created as a result of my takeaways from this event. So let's get rolling. What's up, guys? I'm Jeremy Kane with Real Estate Agent Playbook, giving you the opportunity to win every single day at the game of real estate. That is my goal. I'm here to help you. Content of my takeaways from events, content of, the strategies I've used to build a completely organic business as a 3-time icon agent at my brokerage. I want to give all of that to you. As a result of this event, I have decided to completely dedicate all of my time and effort to having an impact on you as an agent. I don't care if you're with my group at the Wolfpack, I would love that. But if not, absolutely want to impact your life in a positive way. So if you like that, like, comment, subscribe to this video. If you're listening on the podcast, share the show with your favorite real estate agent. But let's go. First and foremost, takeaway number 1 is focus on the basic fundamentals. My good, now, I guess, buddy, Alan Stein, was talking about his experience getting in with Kobe Bryant and his innate ability and drive and focus on the littlest details, the footwork, the fundamentals, the basics, right? Basic is not easy was the main takeaway from Alan's talk, and it resonated through, right? Do the little things, right? When we relate this to real estate, there's so many things, the calls, the CRM entry, the content creation, all of the things that we do to build business, but sometimes we're so caught up in the glamour and the production. Being basic is the start. You cannot be consistent without having the basics down, and you cannot grow and scale if you don't have those basic fundamentals. Oddly enough, my course, focuses on those foundation builders, those lead generation pillars. If you're interested in that, comment course below and I'll make sure I get you that information. But start with the basics. Somebody who has, coached and been in the room with some of the very best NBA athletes of all time says start with the basics. So if he's up there on stage talking about it, that's absolutely what we can do as agents, no matter what your skill level is. And just this reminder is sometimes very important. Next, we move to the power of being present. This is something that's absolutely almost impossible sometimes with these cell phones and how they go these days. And they're constantly having us. They have our email and the contact and the text and the socials and all the things. Being present with someone can change their life. This was talked about with Ed Milet, absolutely, kind of always in his message. Alan talked about it as well, about how he felt when he was at a practice with Coach Krzyzewski from Duke, the legend, how he actually said on stage that he won't remember exactly what was said, but he will never forget the way he felt on that day. And so how we make people feel is absolutely determined by our presence in the moment. And being fully present with our clients immediately builds trust. You can feel it, you've always seen that, that person that's checking their phone or checking their iWatch now, and all the things. Being fully present and locked in is super important. As a father, this is something that I have to put my phone literally across the room on the charger and just focus. Right at this conference, I dedicated doing 500 hours, and I'm going to actually log those hours, right? That you say, well, that doesn't seem like much, an hour and 18 minutes a day or whatever it is. But the truth is that we have a lot of busy lives, right? My girls are doing things, I'm doing things, I'm showing houses, I'm traveling to events, I'm doing all this. So if I can get 500 hours with literally no phone distraction, not one, and no computer, nothing about business or anything, but focusing on that relationship in the here and now, that is probably the number 1 takeaway I had, even though it was number 2 on this list. Next, there's a huge movement to AI and technology, right? Here's echoed by Joshua Smith, my agent in my group, Adam Gillespie, who I talked about AI with last week on the YouTube channel and in the podcast. Both of them echoed this same thing. Agents will not be replaced by AI in the short term, right? It's a relationship business. People like people. They like that presence piece over the technology sometimes, especially with the biggest investment. However, agents who utilize tech and AI to advance their business, to save time, to be more diligent and get all the things and the details done will absolutely replace you as an agent who is anti-tech. So this is something that we need to really focus on. If you have any questions about AI, go back and watch that video. It's absolutely amazing with Adam Gillespie that I did last week. But this is something that's super important. AI will not replace us, but agents that use AI will absolutely take market share and eventually replace those that don't. Next, we move on to, the resilience piece, the power, the grit. How are we getting through these tough markets? How are we getting through the NAR lawsuits? How are we doing this, right? We have to come from a place of grit. Well, when the Iron Cowboy is sitting up on stage, James Lawrence, funny story, he's allergic to hay and and horses, but he's the Iron Cowboy. But talking about his resilience, how he's doing 50 Ironmans in 50 days and 101 and Ironmans and all these things that he did to raise money for charity, and his journey, right, from being the record holder doing 30, right, to doing 50 in 50 states in 50 days, wild, right, to the 101 mission that he talked about. All of these things show so much grit, and he showed some videos from his documentary that's available right now on Prime that were absolutely next level, right? The ability to just get through, right? The ability to run 50 marathons in 50 days. Like, if I run one marathon in my life, I'll be extremely shocked, especially with my knees and things. But the grit and the determination, it doesn't have to be the Ironman, but just pushing through the hard times and being a source of, light and determination, and also locking in and really digging deep in those times to be better for your community, for your clients, for your agents, all the things. That was a massive takeaway. And, one of the things that we can talk about is, as we guide through this, we talk about what our impact is, right? And one of the things he said is, in the moments when you are ready to give up and you want to give up, what is just around that corner, right? What is just around that corner? Ed Milet talking about, on the other side of temporary pain is the great reward, but sometimes people miss the reward because they're so preoccupied with the pain. And so having the ability to separate yourself from it, work hard, have the grit to get through it, and then move forward is absolutely next level. Next piece about this event that is absolutely eye-opening for me is the Atlas Alliance ability to take the core values and build from that, right? Atlas Alliance is a mastermind group that Mike and Louie have put together, very similar to the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack stuff is free. Atlas Alliance is a cost, so if you don't want to change brokerages, it's just another option. But they started this and built it from the core values, and everything that this event had. They had the core values and the transitions between the speakers. Core values were listed everywhere. The speakers were talking about core values. They were in line with those core values. And ultimately, if you can have a set of core values that actually mean something to you and aren't just, drawn out of a hat, the ability to make decisions and, struggle with it absolutely goes away, right? Have these core values, boom, you have a tough decision to make. How does it relate to these? What would the core values say? And you can move forward. So that was a really cool piece that tied the entire event together. It brought the community together, whether you were a member of Atlas Alliance or, not something else, someone else brought you there, whatever it was really cool to rally around these core values and have them constantly there and to actually take them, because a lot of people have core values and a lot of people do this, but do a lot of people utilize them in every single waking decision that they make, the choices they make, the, way they finish projects, all the things. That is one takeaway that I saw. And it was so impactful to me that I actually created a GPT that will walk you through building your core values as it relates to your pillars of your life, family, fitness, financing, production, whatever it is, right? So I have a GPT. It'll ask you, a ton of questions, and at the end, you'll have an outline for life. So if you want that, comment GPT below. I told you I was going to make you wait till the end, but if you're here, it's really starts with the core values and building those up and challenging those and then applying them to everything in your life. So pretty cool stuff there, and huge takeaway. The next thing is the mindset shift, right? We have to go from what we want from people to what we want for people, right? If we can always go into a situation with what we want for that person, it will be game changing, right? And it's really hard. Sometimes we have to get that deal. We have to get that listing appointment. We have to win that buyer. But if we just, instead of what we can get from it, or our transaction or our compensation, whatever that is, if we can say what we want for that person, there's absolutely no way, I don't care who's on the other side, who's competing with you, that you will not get it. If you can instill the presence to be present and figure out what you can do for them and what you want for them, that will absolutely win you 100% of the listing presentations. I don't care how sexy the presentation is. So that is absolutely next level. The main takeaway for me is that my impact will need to spread across all of the real estate industry, agents alike. I want to have an impact on every single agent I possibly can. I don't care if you're at your dad's brokerage and you don't want to leave like I did, and you're not going to come to the Wolfpack, or you're not going to do a deal with me, or whatever. I want to have the most impact I possibly can on every single person, regardless of where you're at, because that's what I took away from this, and this was a major piece of that, right? My mindset shift is now focused on what I want for people, not what I want from people. Next, if we're going to maximize impact, we're going to have that impact on people, we cannot quit. We must keep going, right? We're going to win some, we're going to lose some are going to partner, some are not. Some are going to take your course and they're going to, pay the bill, or maybe they're going to get it for free based on some promotion you're running, and they're going to go through it and not get anything from it. But the ones that dial in, they actually do the work, they're going to get something from it. But the fact is that you are there to impact them. You are there to help them. And so that's what I'm taking from it, right? I have this opportunity to impact as many people as I can. I have this platform, I have social media, I have, success in the industry, I have industry partners, all of these people within my industry, I can have positive impact on. And so that's where that happens, right? But I can't quit, right? If I stop at that, at that gap stop, or I, land that big agent who wants to partner with us and change lives just like we do, like, if I stop right there, who's on the other side of that success? But even more important, if that agent's like, I'm going to go join that other cloud-based brokerage because of XYZ, if I quit there, right? Not with them, but if I get discouraged and I miss that one agent, that really needed that support, that's where I can't quit. So it's keep going, right? Adapt and overcome is a huge piece of a book I read by Jay Billis one time. And that's exactly where we're at. So, you just can't quit, right? Especially if you're organized. This is a lot easier if you're organized and making decisions and building business and off your core values and doing all the things. It's pretty easy, right? Because you're separate. But when you're in the fight, you can't quit. And you have to continue to adapt, and you have to continue to learn and grow. And so that was a massive piece, is just don't quit, right? Talk about a guy who could quit. James Lawrence and the Iron Man stuff, talking about his conversation with his daughter, hit home to me. If you know anything about me, I got 3 daughters, right? So his daughter just saying, hey, get up, you're fine, right? And he's like, no, like literally I can't get up, on his marathon, whatever day it was, on whatever mission he was on. And she said, well, Dad, can you cartwheel, right? Can you crawl? Can you do all these things? And that conversation that he kind of recreated was huge. Truth is, he eventually did get up and he finished the race. But just that piece, you can't quit because you don't know who's watching. And then we got the great Joshua Smith, GSD Mo. Check out his podcast if you have not already. Everything works with the right strategy is what he was talking about on stage, what he was discussing. And that was absolutely next level, right? That's something that I say often on this channel. You can go back and watch the tape, but we just have to dedicate our effort and our emotions and organize and commit to something. Don't quit, continue going, putting the work in, adapt. What gets measured gets managed, like my good buddy Mike says all the time. And everything works with the right strategy. Sometimes the strategy just needs tweaking. So make sure that, with the market changes, with the lawsuit changes, with the compensation changes, whatever it is, right? Make sure that you are adapting and looking at your business, but know that everything works. There should never be something that says, oh, you have to be on YouTube when you're deathly afraid of getting on video, right? I was deathly afraid on video. 700 videos later, I don't think I'm as afraid anymore. So you can do hard things too, and don't let that be an excuse. But know that if you're doing the things and you're putting in the effort and you're making the adjustments, you're watching those KPIs, hitting those KPIs, everything works in this industry. The old stuff, the new stuff, the stuff we haven't tried, the stuff we have tried, it works. It just needs a little bit of tweaking in the process, and it'll absolutely come through. Next, obviously, legacy and family. I think about this a lot. As I mentioned, 3 daughters, getting a little bit older. Still lucky enough to have both my parents around. But having the legacy, having something, right? Be the one that changes your family's legacy forever. I don't care if your family has already, quote unquote, made it. How can we create further generational wealth? But likely, our families, didn't come from a bunch of, success and money and things like that. And I'm lucky enough, my family was middle class. We did good. We had food on the table. Everything was pretty nice. Always had a pretty nice house. But there's more to that, right? There's more people for me to impact. There's more success and there's more legacy for me to leave, right? And being at a brokerage like EXP, where I can will some of my revenue share to my kids and things like that, that's natural stuff. It's really these decisions that you're making. And James Lawrence said it best, like, imagine what your kids will think of you when you win, right? Think about that stuck with me as well as a father. And so I want my kids to see me win, right? Ed talks about this a lot. He, had a phone call with one of his friends, and he just said, hey, you're failing your kids. You're not showing up because you're not the best you, right? You have to be the best, very best you, unquestionably best you can possibly be for your kids. And, if you don't have kids yet, or you're not going to have kids, it's okay. There's still somebody there that looks up to you, that is important to you, that you can build a legacy. You can be the one that changes your family, tree forever, whether it's an uncle or a niece or a nephew or even your parents or whatever. You can do a lot of things within this industry because it is so lucrative. There is no ceiling, right? But sometimes we also forget there's no floor. So be the best you, leave that legacy, strive for that legacy, right? Because it's not too late. It's not too late to start, an investment portfolio. It's not too late to start a career where you can have real impact. So that was a huge, huge eye opener for me. It was always important, but it's always like, oh, legacy, we think of money and, wills and things like that. Certainly I want to take care of my family that way, but changing that mindset, what will they think of you when you win, was a huge one. Next, just a main takeaway from the community, right? Being a part of the Atlas community. At the summit, I'm not a member in their business. I don't have any affiliate links. If you're interested, please reach out. I'll get you in contact with the dudes that make the decisions. But building that community, being a part of that community, is exactly what we already have at the Wolfpack within our group. Mike and Louie both present there as well. But as we grow, right? As we grow so big, right? The Wolfpack, 3,500 agents, Atlas Alliance, about 1,000, right? The bigger you get, the harder that community piece is. So pulling that together and being tasked with helping that community come back together. And even though we're growing bigger, how do we get tighter and tighter with the bonds and not have, the OG members as, one set, and then the first generation, second generation, we want to bring all that together. And I believe that's possible with some of the takeaways I have from this. So not to say that the Wolfpack is not a community and a brotherhood and sisterhood as it already sits, but there's always room for improvement as you grow, right? And so whether it's a small brokerage, a small team, whatever, if you're growing, we can talk about that piece and keeping that community, because as it scales, it gets more and more spread out and it's harder. But the impact of the community, the people that I met, the people that I will forever network with and forever be friends with from this summit were absolutely next level. So at the end of the day, real estate is much more than just transactions. It's all about the people. Being in this fight together as agents is super huge. We talk a lot about competing brokerages and all of this, but when you can bring a like-minded community together at an event like this, it absolutely can change the way you process, right? Maybe you hate this brokerage, but you don't even, know what it's really about. You don't know what the real culture of the people is within, an organization within inside it. Or maybe it's, a brokerage that, will never come together, never see eye to eye, but there's an agent there that you can do a deal with, or an agent that you can send a referral to. Like, there's so many things that come from events like this. And so I challenge you to really, step back and think about that. If you do want to go through my exercise that pretty much goes through all of these takeaways that I had, comment GPT below. If you're interested in Atlas next year, reach out, comment Atlas below, and I'll definitely get you in touch with the right people. But I challenge you to really listen to this video if you weren't able to come and hear exactly what it said, because if I can bring the energy and the impact that it had on me to you, that's my win for the day. So please like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast with somebody on the other side that hasn't listened to it yet, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.